news needs ratings, so it doesn't really sell newspapers and get people watching the TV to be like, everything's great, enjoy your night. Sex and violence sells, and like you want to know more information if there's like some predator out and about, whatever, which there PS always is. Then there's all the like serial killers or like
JD Vance.
Yes,
Inside joke.
One by one pope at a time.
The serial killer of popes has to wait like a long goddamn time. Like,
I mean,
it's like 30,
if
50
you get like
years.
business, get it going. JD, you got one down. Get busy.
It's busy time.
We can get a couple of these done before you're out of office. You know, like
get busy time. Pope killing time. Jesus.
Yeah.
Who knew this was going to spin off in this direction?
I know. Yeah.
So the Pope was Pope for 12 years, it turns out.
He was like the first Pope in 1,000 years that wasn't from Europe, though, I think.
I've heard that, and then I'm like, who's the cat that was around 1,000 years ago that wasn't from Europe? Who are they in 1025 or before? Where are you picking your popes from besides Europe?
I mean, he must have been. You think I know when like fucking Mexico and stuff was discovered? Like,
yeah.
Like 1492, that's us. But like, so I don't know, 500 years before that we got into South America? I mean.
No. Christopher Columbus, 1492.
Right, I know that one. Right. So we haven't. Okay.
They didn't even know South America was a thing.
Maybe there was somebody. Maybe they converted somebody in India or something.
You had
like
no,
Africa.
and then you make him Pope. Yes, there's like North Africa, Middle East, and yeah, they won't make a pope out from India today.
That's true.
What are the chances they elect a black pope or something like that right now?
Zero.
I mean,
are there any cardinals that are black?
Yes, there are black cardinals, and there's for sure black Hispanic. Not black Hispanic. There are for sure Hispanic cardinals. There might well be black Hispanic cardinals, but you could contemplate the notion that they would elect a Hispanic. Pope today.
Well, of course, there's Spain.
Well, Spain. I'm sure there have been Spanish popes, by the way. I'm sure there have been. But I meant, South American, Central American. But
so I found out who it is. You want to know?
Okay, yeah.
The last non-European pope before Pope Francis, who was from Argentina, was Pope Gregory III. He was a Syrian.
Oh. Assyrian? A-S-S?
Syrian. S-Y-R-A.
No, wait a minute. So is A the article or is A part of the word?
A is not a part of the word.
He's from Syria.
Right, correct.
Wow.
From Syria.
Wow, that guy was you think he was a long shot at the conclave?
I mean, I don't know.
Back in, when was that year?
That was, let's see. He reigned from 731 to 741.
Can you imagine? So back in 731, all right, 730, or like 29, the prior pope dies. You got to send the guys out.
Yeah,
on camels.
This has to take forever to happen. We've got to gather the bishops together, the archbishops and whatever. Get the conclave together. I mean, it had to take. I mean, even if we're not, thank God we're not going to Argentina back then.
They're like, guys, we're gonna have a conclave in 9 months.
Right? Yeah.
Please plan accordingly.
Yeah. Send us.
You send the guy out on horseback. 7 weeks later, he reaches Syria.
You're crossing your fingers he gets there.
Right.
Because who knows what could happen on the way.
Or what he arrives to. Is that cat still alive or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's been sending letters or
right, they are in communication.
Dear Pope Gregory the II.
Right.
Life here in Syria
is going great. Got lots of converts,
You won't believe what we're accomplishing in Syria.
Yeah, Syria.
I think.
Yeah.
Were you to pass anytime, I think I might be a pretty good candidate.
Maybe
for Pope.
you would want to recommend me. Just saying.
What's my name again, Kalyn? I'm the Syrian cardinal.
Let's see. His name was. He was the Bishop of Rome. Oh, that's what Pope is.
Yes.
Never mind. He was born Bilad al-Shaham.
Oh my gosh, really?
Then some other shit, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he changed his name to Gregory, though.
Evidently, the average duration of a papacy since 1800 is around 14 years. The longest was Pope Pius IX, who served for over 31 years, and the shortest was John Paul I, who died after 33 days.
Oh, shit. Apparently, of the first 31 popes, 28 died as martyrs. Just there's a fun fact for you.
Rough business being Pope.
Yeah, I guess if there's any kind of persecution going on at all, you gotta like fall on your sword, like, you know.
Has anybody looked into what J.D. Vance was doing back then? No? Connecting the dots here. That's what we do on Robert and Kalyn Get Rich Show.
That's right. That's right.
How many popes have there been? Let's race. 266.
Dang it!
Well, there the math adds up at least, right? Because that's in 2,000 years. That would have, if there were 250 in 2,000 years, that'd be 8 years on average.
Yeah. Oh, that 33 days one wasn't that long ago. It was 1978.
John Paul I.
Yeah.
The one who died after 30. Yeah. Well, John Paul II is the one we grew up with, right? I guess he named himself after that cat because he was only the second.
I guess so. I'm like, why do we have to have these fucking old ass shit names, anyways? Like,
well, there was this tradition of.
Yeah, you're like.
Well, you got to pick a name. Francis kind of broke this tradition, but they were always naming themselves after a pope they admired, and so then that's why it's Paul, John Paul.
Yeah, there's lots of Piuses, lots of Clements,
Innocents.
Innocent. That's another good one.
Innocent the 13th, Clement,
Alexander,
Benedict.
Apparently.
I wonder when they started naming themselves something different, because like, why couldn't he just be?
Yeah, what's wrong with your name, right? Giovanni?
Don't you know your name?
Yeah,
don't you like your name?
Yeah. It's not like they're names from the Bible or something, are they? I mean, and why doesn't anybody go with Peter anymore? Like, that's the OG.
Right?
The OG.
I'll tell you a pope I admire, Peter.
Yeah, the one who started this shit.
Or, hey, why are we aiming so low? I'm going to name myself Pope Jesus.
Pope. Yeah, I'm going to be Pope Holy Spirit. Got it? Like, that's the one I like.
All right, write this down. If they go to conclave now, and they're like, all right, here's who we're going to make Pope. Kalyn Kimmel.
I'm like, done. I accept this role, and I officially name myself Pope Holy Spirit the First.
Yes. Pope Holy Spirit. That's awful. God.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. We're not that good at naming ourselves as Pope, but the thing we're really good at, well, we're not good at it either.
Well, the thing we're worst at is giving financial and investment advice. So, like, don't take that.
All right, well, you can't say that yet. We've got to officially kick off the episode.
All right,
I think.
fair.
Here we go. Let's do it. Cue the music.
Oh.
You are listening to the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich podcast, episode 51.
Woo!
You thought maybe at 50 we would declare victory and go home. We have not. We have got to conquer the interwebs.
That's right.
And we've got to work our way into the conclave, Kalyn.
Absolutely.
We won't give up until you're Pope.
That's my plan. That's my life plan. I might need to be Catholic first, maybe, but
listen, we're gonna build the case and build the plan after the introduction, okay? So just hold your horses. But this is episode 51. We're recording today on April 26th, a very rare Saturday episode.
Absolutely.
It's actually quite rare that Kalyn's out of bed on Saturday at all. Usually waits till Sunday, but all part of her plan to become Pope, and we'll explain that in a moment.
Yeah.
Listen, if you like what we do here, please like and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Forward this to your friends and your local cardinal.
Right.
And
most importantly.
And send us an email, Robert and Kalyn Get Rich at gmail.com. Kalyn is spelled Kalyn. But remember, above all else,
we do not give financial or investment advice.
Indeed. It's like a signature phrase that our guests were able to repeat last episode.
I was so proud of them.
That was a fun episode, and it turned out really well.
Yeah, definitely. And I was not sure how it was going to turn out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure.
I wasn't sure before, during, or after that was going to turn out to be a great episode. Yeah. And I've noticed when we have a guest, I don't know how good this guest is going to be, so I am just going to ramble. I'm going to rattle and ramble.
I'm going to put out some content.
Exactly. So back to our plan to get you elected Pope.
Right. Let's get back to the important stuff.
This is of critical importance. Mm-hmm. So... there's no rule that it has to be a cardinal that's elected Pope, right? Or it doesn't have to be, they don't have to be anything. They don't have to be a priest or anything. They can elect any person on earth. So check that. So you're good.
Like, sweet. Do I have to be Catholic?
I don't think so. So traditionally, they elect a cardinal.
Right.
And here's the thing about it is the people picking also cardinals.
Right.
But only the young ones. This was a big change. You have to be a cardinal under 80 years of age, it turns out.
Oh, yes. It's a stretch for young, I guess. But they're so young. All these sprightly...
Hey.
I mean, Trump is over 80, right?
Not yet.
Not yet, but will be. But will be by the end of his...
By the time his reign is over, he'll no longer be eligible to be a cardinal that selects the Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the sleeping all day thing, we need to position that as like thinking the deep, like prayer and meditation.
Right, like God's talking to me for sure. Like last night, God was like... work on getting some cowboys around because you're going to need to move this cattle, for sure. There's big demands that are happening right now. And, like, you need to be managing this whole... the number of heads of cattle. I was...
Clearly, the cattle are the people.
Sheep.
That's the flock, obviously.
Right, yeah. Right. Duh.
We need to make the case here. Like, how many cardinals do you know?
I mean, I don't...
Can you name a cardinal?
There's probably one that's called like John Francis or something like that. You know, like
that's a good start.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
Yeah,
we could Google
cardinals in the U.S.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, 17 cardinals total.
You think
only 10 are eligible to vote though? There's 7 cardinals in the U.S. that are over 80.
Well, like you said, spry and young, but that's the thing is it's a pretty sizable number that actually cannot vote.
Right, but they can be pope, right? The ones that are over 80.
Yes, I think who can become pope?
Yeah, we need to find this out.
Because I believe the answer is anybody. Technically, oh shit, any baptized Catholic male.
How do they feel about transgender is what I want to know. Because I think now's the time for me to go ahead and switch teams.
I think they're not that crazy about it. Kid.
Yeah, I mean, but will they fight with me over my gender identity? Is what I need to know. Do I have to have surgery?
I'm guessing even the surgery is not going to help, Kalyn.
Damn it.
Okay.
Our plans are foiled.
Okay.
What does it take to become a cardinal? 10 cardinals are retired in the U.S.? Oh, so they don't do shit.
They say there's 252 cardinals right now, of whom 135 are eligible to vote. That's a lot.
Because, like, you can be retired and still be considered a cardinal.
All right, so this is like cardinal in name only. This is like you call the president Mr. President even after
you see Obama and you're like,
hey,
hello, Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Right.
But here's the thing. He is allowed to vote on who's the next president.
That's true.
That's democracy.
Right. Well, I think that if a pope abdicated or something, then he might be able to vote for the next pope.
Well, Benedict did do that.
He did?
He retired as pope. He's the first pope
it's like, get it together.
Which popes resigned or retired? Okay. Pope Benedict was the most recent resignation. Prior to him, Pope Celestine V. You probably remember him.
I do. Yeah. He's one of my faves.
Yeah. You remember he resigned in 1294.
Okay.
Right.
So it's been a minute.
Damn it, guys. Go in chronological order. Then was Pope Gregory, resigned in 1415.
Okay.
And then, all right, I'm not sure how this happened, but popes who resigned also include Pope John the 18th and Pope Benedict the 9th, who resigned multiple times.
He retired. And they're like, let's have the conclave. I'm gonna say you need to go back. Like, let's vote for him again.
Yeah. The other guys are like,
he's like, damn it.
Was this in the era where they were like killing all the popes because like they're all like, who wants to be pope?
Yeah, come on, dude. You haven't even been doing it that long. Like, you just go back. Like, I mean,
we told you, Benedict, you have to do it. And it's like, they're trying to kill me.
They're like, yeah, there's one way out of this position. Like, martyrdom is the number one.
Listen, I have something more important that I wanted to talk to you about. Anyway, this question came to me, and I was like, I really have to know where Kalyn stands. All right. Plain M&Ms or peanut M&Ms?
Peanut.
God damn. I'm the only one?
Yeah, I think so.
You
like plain M&Ms?
Absolutely. I don't hate. I will eat a peanut M&M. I mean, if that's the only offering, that's what I'll take. But I feel like the peanut just distracts from the main event. You know. It's
like I feel like there is no min event when there's not a peanut there. I have no interest in eating plain M&Ms. I'm not a peanut person either.
Yeah.
But
wow, wild.
Yeah.
Well, right, wild. See, I thought this is where our blood harmonies of food taste would kick in. Whenever you and I were both like Peeps versus Smarties.
I don't even know why that was. I can't. I'm like, are they fucking with us? Like, because I don't believe you. You like Smarties? I mean, Peeps, I think, are garbage for sure. But like, they're better garbage than Smarties garbage. Smarties, like, I'd rather eat rocks. Like, seriously, like, just give me some pebbles to gnaw on for a while. Like, I don't know.
I know the tartness and
like, there's nothing good about it. I don't know why they exist. Like,
I mean, Peeps are eating a marshmallow, right? I don't sit down and eat marshmallows,
right.
Straight. I'm sure there are people who do.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of them. You put one on a s'more, it's like the best dessert ever invented. But,
correct.
You coat them with sugar and you make them in the shape of a...
They're like the complement to your cocktail. Like, that's what it, they're meant for Rice Krispie treats or s'mores, whatever. They're great in things. Like, they don't stand on their own. Yeah. But, like, Smarties...
Yeah.
They're dragging down the mean wherever they go.
Somewhere there's somebody on a group chat that has written that Smarties slap, and why do they make them so good? I eat them until I throw up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's something for everyone, but like...
But just rewinding the clock, the plain M&M has a claim on being my most favorite candy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that high on the list.
Wow.
Like, it might be... Listen, the contenders are like Kit Kat, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and plain M&M. Like beyond, I mean,
really, like Twix doesn't.
Yeah, on occasion. Snickers, absolutely not.
If I'm gonna go get candy, it's Twix, and Kit Kat.
Yeah, I think Twix is probably 4. But I love the chocolate in an M&M.
Really,
like that. When either snooty people or Europeans pick on American chocolate, I'm like, go fuck yourself. American chocolate's the best. Like, I freaking love Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah.
And I love M&M's Mars branded chocolate.
Yeah.
I love it all. And the Europeans always want to mix it up with...
raisins and stuff?
Well, yeah, raisins, but also what's the nut? Hazelnut.
Oh. So like I am on board for the hazelnut. like Ferrero Rocher. I just bought 2 boxes of those.
Well, they're pretty.
And delicious. And I'm on board for Nutella also.
I do like hazelnut pretty good. I mean, those flavors are good, but I mean, you just can't pick that above. I
mean, I think that's 10 times better. Hazelnut plus chocolate is 10 times better than peanut butter or peanut plus chocolate for me.
Yeah.
For sure. So how do you feel about mini M&Ms? Do you like the candy?
Even better.
Yeah? So you like more candy... coating.
They're wonderful. I cannot decide. It's like picking between my children.
Yeah.
Which is
not that
hard. But I mean, mini M&M's versus the yeah.
Wow,
love them. And I feel like they taste better when it's like the Valentine's colors or something like that.
Interesting.
For whatever reason, the red, white, and pink ones taste the best. But
you can get like custom ones, so they don't.
I know.
Yeah.
You can go to M&M World in Times Square, and you can get nothing but yellow ones if you want, or whatever.
Yeah, you can get them to say like, "I love you, Andrea," or some. I don't know how. Like, there's probably some character limit.
Then they better have peanut M on them because Andrea just is.
Well, and it's a lot of words. Need a little bit more surface area for printing. Interesting. Wow. I had no idea. I don't remember you getting like M&Ms a bunch when we would like go on road trips as kids or anything.
I'm not the biggest candy cat in the whole world either.
Well, right, but like as a kid when we go on road trips, you got something. I can't think of what, maybe Almond Joy or something.
I feel like you don't. Yeah, I like an Almond Joy.
I like an Almond Joy too.
And I like a Mounds.
I like Mounds also. I don't know why they're.
And I like a Butterfinger.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of Butterfinger. Yeah.
These are all in the top 10.
Yeah. I wouldn't put Mounds in my top 10. I have room for one Almond Joy or Mounds in top 10.
Yeah, it's got to be Almond Joy then.
I would think so.
But if you don't like almonds or are allergic, then maybe not.
Well, luckily I'm neither. Yeah.
So I saw something that caught my attention. I felt like we really had to cover. So there's a new poll out about Trump.
Sure.
And his popularity, which is not doing great.
I feel like there's constantly polls out. Is that not like just?
Yeah, they
perpetual, like, are we just not calling Americans every other day and be like, hey,
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, Kalyn, there's people whose job is to conduct polls.
Right.
And they're called pollsters. And a lot of them hang out at Quinnipiac University for some reason.
Where's that?
It's in Connecticut.
Is that a real place?
Yeah, it's like, that's like...
That's where we do polls from.
It's one of the most well-regarded polling places there is. I mean... Listen, you're Quinnipiac. You're like, a niche player.
We need a claim to fame, guys.
Yeah. And fucking Adobe Studies or whatever department isn't pulling it out. So, like,
yeah.
You know.
How random.
No, they're not far from the Coast Guard Academy.
Okay.
Which their claim to fame is
saving people from sharks and
dying.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Boats that are sinking.
Quinnipiac's
and shit.
like.
We need something.
So they're
like really good over there.
Yeah.
Like with the saving people from sharks and boats and shit.
I mean, and they dress,
yeah.
sharp. I mean, they look
they're on
amazing.
Point. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Short haircuts.
They keep it tight.
Everyone.
They keep it tight.
Yeah. Marching around.
Right. Yeah. Our saluting and shit. Like, man.
Our fucking students
what
have
are we
got
doing?
long hair. And
what are we doing here? Like.
Listen, Bruce, get on this.
Yeah.
Bruce, all right.
Well, I got a phone.
I need 5 ideas. What we can do.
I'm not good at like keeping thoughts in my, so if I'm given like words to say, I could say those words. That's it. But not very well. Not like well enough to act or anything.
Okay. So if somebody else wrote the words, then
yeah. And then like I can dial a phone.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right. I like what I'm hearing here.
We have a ton of phone books that are just sitting here, like from all over the U.S. Like just like look at all those fucking phone books.
I know. All right. So let's call these people, and we're gonna sell them pizza.
Okay. Yeah. You're like, hey, are you hungry by chance?
This is like, Quinnipiac University.
Yeah. I know you're in another state.
Wait a minute.
You're in Idaho, but...
Right. I like what you did there because you started with a question.
Oh.
And I'm thinking maybe we call these people and we could ask them questions.
Yeah. You can just be like, what are you wearing?
Well, that's a little creepy. That one's a little creepy.
Okay,
How old are you?
Yeah, not the sex line.
All right, so that's out. That's out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to ask about that.
Right.
And the pizza thing was a little carny. If you
carny.
Corny.
Oh, corny. I was like, carny. Like,
like a carnival guy. The
I also
guy
eat pizza.
He's like, you like pizza?
Hey, you want some pizza? You hungry for pizza?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing right now? You want pizza? That sounds like my ideal boyfriend. Calls me up and is like, what are you wearing? You want pizza? I'm like, yes.
And then leaves you alone.
Yeah. I'm going to take a nap later, though. So, like,
we're done eating pizza. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, your window is closing. I'm about to go sleep. These cattle are not going to take care of themselves.
Are you a cardinal? That will help me get elected Pope.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's cardinal pizza, not corny pizza.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
So, and it turns out people will pay you to ask people questions if what you're asking about is like, will you buy Toyotas? Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
Right.
So we got a couple of things to talk about with these polls, but let's skip to the important part, which was this quote at the bottom. Mm-hmm. They're asking people, what do they think of the economy and Trump's tariffs and stuff? Mm-hmm. And Tracy Carson, a retiree and an independent voter in Wisconsin, said, I don't buy a lot of stuff, so I would just sit back and take the ride. But the aluminum thing with Canada kind of scared me because I'm a big Diet Coke drinker. And so I think it's a fair tactic to make a fair deal with Canada. So,
are we getting a bunch of aluminum from Canada?
Well, we do. But I mean, like...
First of all, why can't we recycle this shit? I thought the aluminum was like the easiest thing to recycle to begin with. Like, you just melt that shit down.
You don't need tariffs if you recycle, guys. Come on.
I mean... Of all the things to recycle, it's one of the easiest.
Yeah. The easiest thing currently in your refrigerator to recycle.
Right. So this bitch was worried. She's like, well, what's going on with Canada and that?
Crashing the economy is one thing. I'm sure Trump might destroy democracy.
But we're just sitting around enjoying the ride for that. So long as we can drink Diet Coke while we eat popcorn and whatever. Wait. We're cutting down the Diet Coke supply.
The SS is marching down the street.
Right. She's like, okay, that's cool. See what happens.
I don't know those people very well anyway.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. Interesting. And also, get it together, Coca-Cola and.
Tracy and her motherfucking Diet Coke.
Yeah, send her a pallet of that shit so she can just, relax, watch her money dwindle down to nothing, and like the rest of us.
All right, so slightly more important, they did this whole thing about which of the following things do you think a president should be allowed to do, right? So here's the chart. Should or should not be able to do each of the following. Forgive student debt. 41% should. 19, not sure. 37, should not. Impose tariffs without Congress. Should. 28, yes. 61, should not. That's not a good sign for the Donald. Okay, down to the bottom. Send U.S. citizens to prison in El Salvador. 10%. Yep. You should. 73% no. Ignore Supreme Court rulings. 6%. The president should be able to do this. 76%. And so the question to you today, Kalyn Kimmel, is who are these fucking 6 and 10? Who are the 10% of people that think you should be able to send U.S. citizens to prison in El Salvador?
They're like, you know what system really worked well that I think we should be implementing right now is like, what was it? Oh, a dictatorship. Like, that's what we should be doing here and have Donald Trump leading the charge. Because, you know, why would we want to listen to that Supreme Court? They're so old and like they just write. You know, it's like takes forever. It's boring. Like just do what you want. And what's wrong with sending American prisoners to El Salvador? Really?
20 people in a room.
Yeah.
One of them thinks it's all right to send American U.S. citizens to a prison in El Salvador.
Worked out okay for England and Australia, so like maybe we just ship them all off and they make their own thing. Like,
okay, it'd be one thing to send them to, you know, Guantanamo Bay,
right,
or whatever, or an army base in Guam.
That's the other piece I was wondering about is do they not know where Guantanamo Bay is? Yeah. Like, do they think it's in El Salvador?
They probably never heard of El Salvador.
Right. But like, are they just like Gitmos somewhere, right? You know, somewhere down there.
It happens to be in Cuba, but yes,
right. But it's another Hispanic, like
sounding place,
Caribbean-ish, you know, Central American.
Sounds kind of nice, Guantanamo Bay. Actually, it could be like.
I listened to a podcast about Guantanamo Bay, and apparently working there is like super fun.
Yeah,
like and
they party.
It's not all like prisoner people. I mean, they have to have all the like they have to like have grocery stores and stuff. And like
Cuba, it's like what is
then they like hang out on the beach, the beautiful beaches and.
I heard there's a McDonald's on the base.
I'm sure that there is.
There's like 2,500 people in Guantanamo Bay or something. El Salvador, not this place.
No, this is like one of the worst prisons like in the world. Like the most dangerous, hardcore, like bad situation.
So they have this supposed like clerical error, and we arrest this cat. He's at least married to a U.S. citizen, which I think makes you a U.S. citizen.
The student.
So they pick him up. You know, ICE picks him up and ships him to El Salvador.
Right.
All right. They figure out, all right, this was a clerical error. Yes, he's a U.S. citizen or a green card holder or something. He's married to a U.S. citizen or something. What do you do next? What is the next step? Well, to them, it's not like, we're going to solve this right now. Right. We're going to bring this U.S. citizen home and save this guy from the worst prison on the fucking planet.
Right. This guy who's literally done nothing wrong.
Yes.
As far, like, we have no reason to have him imprisoned whatsoever.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So the clear and obvious answer is let's go get this guy and bring him back.
How did we even come to this arrangement to begin with is what I'd love to know. Like, El Salvador is like, sure, yeah. I mean, we've got an overpopulated prison that's super dangerous, but we can put some Americans in there, like mix it up, you know, see what happens. Like,
I think it involves money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it does.
Give them money, they'll do any damn thing.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
But like, I mean... To your point, like, why are we not? I don't. What even goes down on Guam? Like, what even like, like, what is Guam like about? Anyways, like, why not build a prison there or whatever? I'm sure that there's some company that, like, a lot of prisons have been privatized, so like, I'm sure there's some company willing to like build a prison where fucking ever you want, and like, you know, like,
you want a prison on Guam? We are your man.
Yeah, like. Totally. Like, I can see that. I mean, it's like got military people go in and out of there, so they have like planes and shit. I mean, it's got some infrastructure in place. It's not like that island in the middle of nowhere that, you know, with the penguins. Like, right, that one may be a challenge for us to get a prison built there. But like, why are we like, oh yeah, this sounds like a good idea. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how are we deciding what prisoners to send there? Like, it's just to people that are illegal immigrants. Is that right? Like, that we're sending to this El Salvadorian prison? Yes, it's supposedly Venezuelan gang members. So they are supposedly illegal immigrants, B, Venezuelan gang members. So then why aren't we sending them to Venezuela? If like why are we sending them to this? It's like, oh, if I get arrested when I'm time in Argentina, are they going to be like, you know what? We're going to send you to the prison in the UK because you're white and speak that blah, blah, blah language.
I want some butter.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we've got it, white girl. Like, you'll be home soon. Back to like... You know, the UK. I'm like, wait, no. And they're like, you guys always whining with the white girls. God, like,
you're going to the UK. Yeah. We're sending you to Surrey.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, it just seems so random.
And the real constitutional question is like, there's no due process. Like, they scoop them up, they send them, and then they ask questions later, which is why an American, a U.S. citizen, can end up there. You know, so
right. Yeah, well, right, which taking away due process is like a big problem with like our constitution. Like, there's like a lot of constitutional stuff.
Well, evidently, there's like 10% of people that are not all that bothered by taking away due process. You know, so.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure if you were like...
There's some people who are like, I have nothing to hide, and so therefore, like, the government can totally spy on anything that I do.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, yeah, that's really tricky, though.
I think if the survey question we wrote here at Quinnipiac University was, should we send Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador? I'm sure a lot of people would be like, yeah, that's great, no problem. If you're like, should we just sweep up people off the street, accuse them of being Venezuelan gang members? And then, when we learn of our mistake... The proper response is A, defend it and not let that cat come home, or B, fight tooth and nail for a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that fits along with our justice system. Like, I mean, you hear about like people that are vindicated like, with DNA.
Decades later.
Right. And then they spend years in prison waiting to get released. Yeah. Like, it's not like the next day. Like.
So we focused on El Salvador, but what about the other one? 6% of people think it's okay for the president
the Supreme Court.
Yes. This seems like pretty much bedrock, fundamental to our constitutional democracy as well.
The president can veto a law that has gone through all of the legislative branch.
And he can sign a law and then the Supreme Court declare it unconstitutional, you know. So, anyway.
Like, I don't know what is this all about the same stuff? Like him ignoring the Supreme Court? I don't know what he's done.
There's about a million things that are in front of the Supreme Court right now with...
That Trump's like...
Yeah, because he likes to push the limits a little bit. I don't know if you're...
Does he?
Picked it up.
He plays pretty... yeah.
Like, I mean, he sent his vice president to assassinate the Pope.
That's true.
And the Supreme Court was like, well, it is an official act of...
I guess it's okay. He's not an American citizen. He's Argentinian, which means he probably belonged in an El Salvadorian prison to begin with. That Pope, you know.
You start driving up in unmarked vans and sweeping white Iowans off the streets of Des Moines
and sending them off to Sweden, like
not the bikini team part of Sweden either.
The really cold part where it's really cold and there's like polar bears and things. Nice. Yeah, I read Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. That shit sounded cold as fuck.
Did you hear about this one, Kalyn? All right, so there's Kristi Noem. Like, clearly she's a smoke show. Look at that hair. My God.
Pantene model.
Anyway, Pantene model and Secretary of Homeland Security.
Yeah. Is she the one that shot her own dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how you earned your stripes to become secretary. Yeah. Anyone who will shoot their own dog can... chase Mexicans out of the country. Yeah. So
it can be like, I visited the El Salvador president. It's lovely. Like on a day-to-day, like when she goes out to dinner with her family, she's got me, my husband, my 2 kids, plus 6 of these guys.
These guys.
Yeah.
You got the one who drives the truck and the other one who sits in the back with the family and is like, now the protocol.
Yeah, right. You know. Yeah. And they're like, Roger that, like, or whatever. Yeah.
Ma'am, we've been asked to take you to an undisclosed location.
We've noticed a crackhead on the perimeter, so just to be aware.
We're going to take you to Capital Burger.
Just guessing that he's a Venezuelan gang member also. Like,
they're like, that dude's white.
And you're like, whatever. Yeah. He seems like he's up to no good.
You know, our racist listeners, as soon as you said crackhead, they didn't imagine a white guy.
Oh, really? I would 100% imagine a white guy.
Really? You're like, crackhead, the first thing that pops in your head is a white guy? A scruffy white guy, like the gloves with the fingers sticking out, wino, a bottle wrapped in... wrapped in a paper bag.
I mean, there's plenty of crackheads of any ethnicity. Like, yeah.
How many crackheads in the United States? Come on, Google.
A lot. I mean, yeah. And I say crackhead generally, but I also mean like any like clearly super addicted drug user, whatever. I watch those videos where the like narcotics situation is like out of control and they've got like the walking zombie, you know, they're like on Skid Row. I'm like, those people all tend to be white.
The household survey on drug abuse indicated an estimated 6 million U.S. residents aged 12 and older use crack at least once in their lifetime.
6 million.
So out of 3, that's 2% of the population, but of adults, that's like 4 or 5%.
Yeah. Use crack? Wow.
In their life.
Yeah.
The number who...
They're just like, I just tested it out.
Who used it in the last month was 507,000.
Fun.
Like 4 out of 1,000 adults. That's you know awesome. What? These are the same. That same 5% is like those are the ones who think it's okay to not ignore the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Who are we calling on these questions?
Hey, in this era of surveys, anybody will answer the damn phone.
Right? Yeah. I've never once gotten a call for one of these surveys. By the way, so I'm specifically.
Yes. Is this Kalyn Kimmel?
Like, is she?
Kalyn, have you ever taken crack?
Just once, just for funsies.
In your life? Were you 12 years old or older?
I was 11, so no.
How do you feel about the Supreme Court and ignoring
I don't think that we should ever listen to them.
Are you concerned over aluminum tariffs?
I am terrified. Like, that is the thought that keeps me up at night.
I feel like we should probably check on the
portfolio.
Yeah, we've kind of gone out of sequence
see how
here. Without this gummy bear anchoring the program,
I
don't know.
We need to get something else. I mean, I do have those other gummies we didn't get to.
What kind of gummies are those?
The Shack gummies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say crack gummies.
Oh! That would.
And then we could add to the ranks of the 6 million Americans who have had.
Yeah, I filled these gummies with crack for us, Robert, so we could give it a try.
Now this
aren't you curious?
Yeah.
Do you want to be like, man, I want to like stare out the peephole and watch people pass by? Like,
everybody's curious what it's like to be on crack. There's a distinction between those who ever use crack and are a crackhead.
Correct.
Now, I don't know.
Correct. Yeah.
When you cross the line from crack user to crackhead.
Well, yeah. I mean, your use number greater than 1, certainly.
Okay.
But like,
this is like serial killers. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have to come off of one crack experience before going on to another.
Yeah.
All right. Separated by a certain amount of time.
Right. You have to come down, and then you'll be like, I gotta get some more of that crack. Like, I need crack. That's the only thing I care about now. Like, sorry, I had a family and a business and stuff, but like, nope, no more crack. Like, because I like being like, woo! Look how I went.
Crack.
Like, what are they up to? Like, yeah, that's how you define it. It's the,
fuck the Supreme Court.
Like, what is this? Yeah, fuck the court. Like,
send them to.
I fucking hate them. The Venezuelan gangsters. Like, send them away. Like, I need some more crack. Like, yeah. Then you're a crackhead.
What percentage of Americans do you think could pick El Salvador off a map? Or Venezuela, an easier one.
Yeah.
Like,
it would be sad.
I've got a 50-50 chance of picking out Venezuela, and I'm a pretty educated American.
Like, yeah, I might get mixed up with which one's Venezuela, which one's Colombia.
Right.
El Salvador, I feel the same degree of confidence about my first. No, for myself, I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like I could pick El Salvador.
Like, just generally, here's a couple of countries that it might be.
Right. It's Central America, right? So it's like Panama and Guatemala and Belize in there.
All I know is they have the worst crime on earth, and they mean the Savior in Spanish. And the capital is San Salvador, which sounds kind of weird. Saint Savior, that kind of is an odd name.
Saint Savior of the Savior.
Yeah, of the Savior.
Yeah. Well, like, the Los Angeles Angels was like
that's a sports team.
the Angels, like, that's what, because Los Angeles.
First of all, they were the Anaheim Angels, and then they moved to LA. Right.
Right. When did it become a thing to change the team name? Like, because the Oilers left and they did not remain the Oilers.
Yeah. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. The Utah Jazz. They don't play jazz in Utah.
Right. They're from New Orleans, right? And like New Orleans jazz.
The LA Lakers, you might have heard of.
Yeah.
They from
lots of lakes.
Yeah, lots of lakes. You know, known for came here for the waters. It's like Casablanca. No, that team was in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, and then they moved to LA. And then sometimes they change it right away.
Right.
Like the Oilers, they're like, fuck this. Right.
They're like, we'll be the Titans.
Yeah.
Because that
is like
the random. And
top 10 dumbest names in pro sports. Yeah.
Right. If we're coming up with new names, they all suck. And so they're like, let's just stick with the old names, which, by the way, Lakers is not like a great name either. Like, what the hell is a Laker?
I know, but it's like,
And a Jazz? I don't hate it, but like, I mean, it's...
I like it a lot. I like it a mile better than the Commanders, the
Guardians,
Titans, the Panthers, I don't know. I think I have a bias against any new name. I'm gonna be like,
yeah. Know? That's what I'm feeling from you.
I like the really old names, the Red Sox, the Red Stockings, the White Sox.
Yeah. Like, tell me about your footwear.
How will we tell these two teams apart?
Like they're just a bunch of old dudes. All curly.
They're wearing the same thing they were on their delivering milk this morning.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Except now it says the Canton tea biscuits on it.
Yeah.
And their uniform looks just like that one, except for one thing.
Right. Yeah, they're like, get those socks on that are...
It's a damn miracle there's not more Sox teams in this,
Yeah. I mean, who thought of that anyways? Like the Sox business. Like, why socks? Why not the brown pants or
they're wearing a lot of clothes.
Or like the red pants or whatever, like the red gloves, like...
Well, the pants department was already taken by the Knickerbockers, right? It became the New York Knicks, right?
Knickerbockers. Back in the day, basketball dudes didn't wear anything that were like long. They wore some short shorts.
Yes, right.
Like,
yeah, if you're talking about 70s, 80s basketball players, that is some short stuff.
Right. Which I'm like.
But you watch the old black and white basketball, Pete Maravich era, like Knickerbockers when they're probably, or I mean, like they move differently.
Yeah.
You know, they dribble like this.
Well, right.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, the portfolio, Kalyn.
Portfolio. I'm very curious to see how we're doing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll go back. Look at your screen and look at
this. My God. Just try to hold us down.
Up to, yeah. You can throw tariffs at us. You can throw anything.
Do anything.
Anything.
Good luck.
Except for during this time, that was bad. But,
right.
Since then.
It took a little while to get going. But once it got going, I mean, just a freight train.
That's right.
Taking the market by storm.
And who do we have to thank? Well,
Not
Tesla.
Not Tesla right now.
Them, but Howmet.
Howmet, hell yes.
You go. Yes.
Fuck yes.
Fannie Mae.
There we are, back again.
ATIA, crushing it.
Am I the asshole? Yeah.
Look at this one, Chewy, up 70%.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of dog portraits. I mean, a lot.
Right.
I mean, a lot.
That is a lot of dog.
And Reddit up 74%.
Like, I'm surprised that Chewy is up so much in this window because Chewy's been around. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of curious what the Chewy chart looks like. Just the Chewy chart.
You know, that's a great. If you are curious, then we are investigating. Here we go.
Yeah, like just because, like, why would it have gone up so much recently?
Up 2% here. You think the chart will answer that question?
I do.
That was on Friday yesterday. Yeah. Up 4% over the past 5 days. Up 9%. Just an unstoppable freight chain. Chewy and their bags of dog food. 36% up in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
139%. We were late to the Chewy train.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, what's that peak?
Down 16% 5 years.
Yeah.
What was the peak?
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean,
up here?
There's like, no, if go like July something, like there's a...
You know, that was probably like a flash thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what's in the news? Takeover rumors.
That seems to happen to us pretty often. These takeovers and stuff that
a lot of these guys, like a lot of the who's that famous guy?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. No.
President Trump.
You're getting warmer.
Okay.
Investor
guy. Warren Buffett.
Yes. Okay, Warren Buffett. So a lot of these investors, like Warren Buffett, are,
Yeah.
When you invest in undervalued stocks, you're not the only one sometimes that notice they're undervalued. Another company comes in and makes the acquisition. So it's a major way that they get a lot of nice returns.
Yeah.
That begs the question, Come up with some other funny question it begs. Not who's going to buy them.
I'm curious.
Hedge funds.
Yeah,
okay,
hedge funds.
I thought it'd be Amazon.
These fucking hedge funds, they suck. No, I'm surprised it's not Amazon. That would be smart of Amazon. I guess they would lose a bunch of the personalized touch, but I mean,
Amazon can.
No, I mean,
they'd probably get sued for
monopoly.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here's the S&P 500 over the same time, down 2.5%.
Dang. We're kicking ass. We're so good.
I know.
It's hard to believe how
with these crazy, and with as many stocks that are down 60 and 70% to be doing as well as we are.
This is very much like my portfolio.
How about the guests? What would you guess who the guests are doing?
Yeah. Have we added in the new things for the guests?
I forgot.
Okay.
What was the new thing? Oh, Disney?
All
right. Hey, Disney in the past 5 days is up 6.5%.
Okay.
Wow. So that would be a big help.
Yeah, we should have added that.
Yeah, we should have. You know why? Andor. Fucking
Andor. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Justin was right.
They knew it.
All right. Justin, tariff portfolio. Speaking of Justin,
it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, they're down 11%.
Right. So remind me, that's we're expecting that one to skyrocket as soon as the tariffs come off.
Well, Justin does. So
okay,
we'll see.
Right. That's the.
But had he invested in the S&P instead,
at
the same time, he'd only be down 4.3%.
Wow.
And then finally, the past portfolio, Kalyn.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Currently has one holding.
Right. Did we make the right decision?
They're down 0.2%.
We did make the right decision.
Yeah, because that would pull the average of our portfolio down.
Yeah.
And that is Realty Income Corporation.
Yeah. Fuck those guys. Those guys suck. We don't give financial investment advice, but I'll tell you one thing. Don't invest in them. You guys want to be sponsors, and then we should totally invest in them.
Realty Income Corporation. Now that you've said that, Realty Income Corporation is going to go on
to the moon,
run unmatched in modern finance history.
Every time
they are gonna. No.
Yeah.
But no, that's not our history. Our history is our portfolio.
Is all over the place.
Does okay. Yeah, all over the place, which nets out to
being good. Yeah.
One for us to investigate, I've already started a little bit, is Ryder Corporation.
Okay, the trucks?
Yeah, they rent the trucks and more.
Yeah.
If you are a big company and you need more than just to rent a box truck to move your apartment.
I mean,
there are companies who need more than that.
U-Haul also has storage units. I know that because January's mom has storage units that are at U-Haul.
This is good. But, this is a fundamental research.
I would think that that's a head-to-head competitor, Ryder Trucks and U-Haul. Unless Ryder actually builds the trucks, are they that's Ryder?
I doubt it.
They're like a Ford competitor,
no, but they'll also you've got a factory or a warehouse. They'll come in and run your warehouse for you because you make. Baby rattles or something, and you're really good at
And Ryder does that?
Ryder will manage the warehouse.
Interesting.
And pull the parts, put them in boxes, put them on the trucks, that they're famous for.
Okay.
And then ship them.
So yeah, if you've got a distribution center, then they're we can do this.
Yeah.
They should have gotten purchased by Amazon then.
It would not surprise me at all if Amazon's their biggest customer. They subcontract 10% of their business to Ryder or something.
Yeah.
But at one point, Amazon was a lot smaller than they are today.
That's true. They didn't start this big.
They were smaller yesterday than they are today.
Yeah. I don't know how it got to be as big as it is really, because now if you go on Walmart.com, it basically is the same thing. You can find literally anything on Walmart.com, yes. But it's some shit from China or whatever, other distributors. Yeah. I don't know how they made that leap. I'd be curious.
Who's the they?
Amazon.
Yeah.
From selling a book here and there or whatever, and just pushing through. I mean,
guy happens to stumble on. Back then, you had to know the URL and stuff.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I listed a bunch of my textbooks. I sold books on. Well, I've sold a couple of things on Amazon actually, but that was even then. Amazon had didn't have a ton of other stuff, but they did have other stuff. And it just seems like that went from like, now if there is anything on this earth that I want to buy, I can probably buy it on Amazon.
It's hard to think of something you can't buy on Amazon. Maybe that's our homework.
Like a car, or maybe I mean, you probably can buy
a Rothko.
Maybe. Like you could definitely buy a picture of one or
you
whatever.
You for damn sure can buy a car on Amazon. Hang on.
Can you buy real estate on Amazon?
I want a farm. That's our assignment for next episode, is to research, create a list of things you cannot buy on Amazon.
Right. Listeners, please let us know if you think of anything.
Yeah, send us know. Listen, Ken, I think that's about time to shut it off. It's good a place as any to end, so let's cue the music.
All right.
You've been listening to the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich Show. If you've made it this far and actually enjoyed what you were listening to, first of all, you're weird. But second of all, won't you please rate... Why? I'm so self-deprecating. Why?
I don't know.
Listen, if you made it this far and you've enjoyed what you've listened to...
You're a weirdo, but you're awesome.
No, damn it, I'm trying to say this.
You're awesome, though. It's good to be weird. Who wants to be like everybody else?
That's right. This is like a Dave Ramsey. You're weird. You've paid off your house. Wow.
Yay.
You're weird. You're in the College of Cardinals.
Yay. I made it.
You're in conclave. You're not supposed to be listening to us right now. Are they in
Yes.
conclave? It must be by now, right?
I don't know.
How long does it take? Anyway.
They're old dudes. It takes a minute to do anything.
Yeah, but listen, like, figure it out. Writer can help you, or Amazon. Get there and start a conclave.
One would think.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yes. So rate and subscribe. Send us to all your friends. Send us to your local clergy and your cardinal.
Leave us a comment. Send us an email.
Yes. And make sure you vote for Kalyn for Pope.
Pope, Holy Spirit, here I am.
And with that, Kalyn, I think we should sign it off.
All right.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.